Hey friends, it's Jacqueline here. Since last year, I have been meaning to do monthly roundups of the products that I have tried the month prior, but life got in the way just as usual. I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. I have life. I have a husband. I do have another job. I don't do YouTube full time. And this is not to create excuses, but it's just super hard to film the video, then edit, and everything that is involved with it. And I feel like I here on my channel I do a ton of reviews, but I think it is so worth it, and I think it's gonna be so valuable for you that you're looking for a specific products right here to really know what I think about these products after my first impressions, after trying it for an entire month. So let's try to get into this habit, this 2022, and let's do my roundup of the month of January. And the first product that, although I haven't reviewed it here on my channel, but I received that on the month of January, kind of like, I think it was in the middle of the month of January, something like that. And I have been using it pretty consistently, is the eyeshadow palette from Sydney Grace, Be Mine. This eyeshadow palette comes in 2 different formats. One that is the light one, the one that I have right here, and also one that is kind of like for those who have deeper skin tones. And I have to say that if I'm impressed, I mean, there's no question. Sydney Grace does some of the best eyeshadow formulations in the market, and this is no difference. I truly enjoy the color story. You have the neutral tones right here, which are the ones that I used today for my eyeshadow look, and then you have some pinky tones, and then they play around a little bit with olive tones, mauve tones, and then there are some black tones right here. Beautiful shades that they can really take you from daily kind of use right here to smoky eye looks to more romantic looks. I think this is, although a color story that may not be like, wow, fascinating, this is something completely different, never seen and done, but it's a color story that actually you can get a lot of use out of it, because it takes you again from your neutral nudie tones to some pinks, but that they are not too loud of a pink, they're more mauve dusty pinks, and then to something that if you want to create a really smoky eye look, something more intense, you have it right there. And with a pop of color, a little bit of green, an olive green, and a green that is not too intense. I'm like thinking about my top today, and I think it's just such a beautiful palette. So definitely it's a palette that conquered my heart. So lovely. Now let's move on into foundations, because the month of January was like the first day actually it was everything about new foundations. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the new reformulated Forever Dior foundations. I have them in Skin Glow and the matte version. I'm wearing today the matte version, and I have the older versions, the previous version. I mean, like, there's even a previous version before that. The new version is more clean. It does have more of like floral extracts. And I have to say that I like them both. When I did my review, I actually reviewed this one right here, the Skin Glow, and I compared it side by side with the previous version of the Skin Glow. And my teenage daughter, she was like, Mom, this looks beautiful. This looks a lot better than the other foundation. And you have to take care into account too that I live in California, not in a super dry climate, but I'm not in the East Coast. It's not humid. I live by the coastline, so it's a really nice weather, and I have to say that the Skin Glow behaved really beautifully. I don't have any complaints. It didn't like gather on my fine lines. It didn't move around. It really looked gorgeous. If you have more of like normal combination skin or oily skin, then I will suggest to powder it. Now going into the matte finish, this foundation is perfecting. Honestly, my face looks perfected. Very perfected, beautiful. I have dry skin, I do have mature skin, I do have large pores right here, and it doesn't emphasize any of them. To me, the matte formulation it has more of like a natural finish. It doesn't have a powdery finish. I think it works just wonders. It's not too thick, it's not too heavy. It just have the right consistency, and I think this foundation right here, the matte formulation, it's gonna be beautiful for those night outs when you really want a very perfecting kind of finish look to your makeup, this is gonna give you that look. And I think this foundation, if you are either oily or combo skin, this will be more ideal for you. And if you have dry skin and if you live in a more of like a humid climate, you're gonna love this foundation during this time of the year. You're just gonna love it because, like I said, it's more natural, it's not too thick, not too heavy. If you want something very nice and perfecting, this takes you to that place. I'm actually really happy with the reformulation. Now going to Charlotte Tilbury, our darling, she created a gorgeous foundation, that Charlotte's Beautiful Skin Foundation, and it does give a beautiful finish to the skin. It's more creamy, it's thicker in consistency. It does have more of like a medium, true medium coverage. To me, it's very much a hybrid between the Flawless foundation with the Magic foundation. It's a hybrid between of them, to the point that it can become a little bit more glowy, but you can just use some powder and look extremely beautiful. I think she has done a beautiful job with this foundation right here. I honestly really enjoy it. It does have a good amount of longevity, but what I like the most is the way that it fades off. It doesn't fade in patches. It fades like really beautifully. Just very well done foundation. And now going into the new Nars Light Reflecting Foundation, a lot of people have compared to this one. To me, they are completely opposite. I do have dry skin. As soon as I put this right here, it looks like a matte foundation. It does look like a matte foundation with time. I will say within an hour or even 2 hours. Then as your natural oils, get produced and mixing with the foundation, then your skin starts looking more like a natural finish. But honestly, overall, I feel like this looks very like a matte foundation. Very light though, but I think if you live, and in fact, I was living in Florida last year at the beginning of the year, like January through May, June, and I will have used a lot this foundation. I'm sure about it. This foundation will have been my go-to foundation because with the humidity levels, I know this foundation will look just exquisite because how light it is. It's super thin. It's very perfecting. But on the area that I live, no, it's not the foundation that I will gravitate towards. I like it, but I feel like I need like say for example the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, something a little bit more moisturizing to go underneath this foundation. And then going with a foundation that I actually reviewed the last day of January, but I was able to try it a couple times and then afterwards a couple times more, is the Rose Inc Skin Enhanced Luminous Tinted Serum. Now this is a serum, it's not really a foundation, and I actually did a side-by-side comparisons with the Eau de Teint de Chanel, and oh wow, they are very similar. I will have to say this one right here acts more like a serum, where you will find it's a little bit more glowy, a little not super dewy, but just give you a little bit more radiance. But what a gorgeous product. This is a gorgeous product. I really love that it does have peptides. It does have a ton of beautiful ingredients, hyaluronic acid. It doesn't emphasize in large pores. It doesn't emphasize in, like fine lines. It's honestly a stunning serum with a beautiful wear time. Gorgeous. I mean, if you want something that is serum like, not to really replace your skincare, but actually kind of like a booster, this is a really good product. I think they did a outstanding job on formulation in general, not only in finish, but the entire product itself. It honestly is of great quality. And now going for my foundation of the month, the foundation that I absolutely love is Chanel No. 1. This foundation is stunning. Is super beautiful, gorgeous, and it's just perfecting. It's lightweight. It doesn't emphasize any of the fine lines. When it fades away, it does fade away in a most elegant way. It's just stunning. It's a foundation that I'm just like jaw drop amazing. The way that it works on my skin, how naturally it looks my skin. It doesn't look matte. It doesn't look extra dewy, extra glowy. It does have a subtle radiance to it. It's just exquisite, and it does have some skincare benefits as well. So I really love this new line from Chanel. In general, they have done an excellent, outstanding job with the line. The foundation of the month of January, Chanel No. 1. And talking about Chanel No. 1, let's talk about the fragrance that I reviewed from that collection. And this fragrance is very beautiful. I will have to say that to me it's more like after shower kind of like a spray because it sits very close to the skin. It does have definitely that quote unquote Chanel scent when you go to a Chanel boutique, when you smell their makeup line or their skincare line, that floral kind of scent that is very nice and refreshing, yet is light. To me, it's definitely like walking into a field early morning with that morning dew that is produced in flowers, just like that. That's beautiful, nice, tender. It's not powdery, it's fresh. It's a very soft floral scent that sits very close to the skin. It does have a nice longevity. I will say about 5 to 6 hour mark. That's what you can expect with this Rouge from Chanel. Beautiful fragrance. And then continuing with more Chanel, and there's quite a bit of Chanel right here. Let's go for the lip and cheek balms right here. Beautiful product. I honestly enjoy very much using it as a blush. And if you pack it a little bit more, it will last you for a good solid 8 hours. In fact, when I did my wear test of the foundation, I also tried this and I was like, is it still there? This is incredible. Such a great product. Now, I do not like it for the lips. Honestly, I usually tend to do not like anything that I have to use lip and cheeks, although it's something that is done, that is nothing new. I mean, back on the days, if you had a lipstick, you use it for your as a blush too. But I don't like it. I don't like to do it that way. I have to have my separate products. And honestly, if you use it on your lips, it's not gonna last you for a long time. But regardless, I really love it for the cheeks. I really love the finish. It gives you a very not glowy look, but actually a very youthful kind of finish to the skin. It looks like your skin has been hydrated, is in the best condition possible. And then talking about the eye cream from Chanel #1. Wow, I'm so impressed about this eye cream. It does have a lot of emollients. It does even has G's, which it will brighten up your under eye area. I think out of all the skincare line from Numéro 1 de Chanel, the eye cream is where it's at. I just absolutely love it, and I have mentioned to you, I have already purchased the eye cream. I will be using it before my makeup because I love the hydration that it gives me. I love the formulation. It doesn't have any scent. I think it does the job beautifully. I think this is a great, excellent product from this new line from Chanel. Okay, now let's move on right here. Let's steer away from Chanel and let's go back to Charlotte Tilbury and her new Eyes to Mesmerize in the matte finish. I'm gonna be returning these products right here. Yeah, I mean, let me tell you that to me, it wasn't hard to blend, but I didn't really like the finish. Although I knew I was going for a matte cream formula and therefore it was gonna be matte, it looked, as it progressed the hours, it kept looking more dry and more dry and more dry, to a point that after 5 hours, I remember I was editing a video sitting down and I felt like my eyes were like kind of like shrinking, like if they were, like lacking of moisture. It just, they felt really, really dry and I felt like they were itching, and definitely it was this product right here. I think I understand that this is supposed to be a matte formulation, but by no means they have to be so drying. To me, again, if you go and check my review, they were not super hard to blend or anything like that, but it's just not a product that makes me excited to try. Yeah, it's not a product for me. And then some people had asked me about the brushes that I used to apply these products right here, if they were damaged. No, they were not damaged at all. I was able to spot clean them. I usually use for spot cleaning this Clinique makeup brush cleanser. It's very, very gentle with all my brushes, and I did that and they just clean perfectly fine. There's no residue or anything like that. But I have to say that the product itself is just, I mean, it's really sad for me because I really, really love Charlotte Tilbury's products, and this time around, yeah, they were not the best. Definitely were not the best. And another product that I tried from Charlotte Tilbury, also new to her line, is her Lunar New Year lipstick. Just one of the lipsticks. She came out with 3 of them. They are all in the Matte Revolution formula. And honestly, I love her Kissing formula, which is her satin formulation more than her matte formula. But out of so many formulas in the market that they are matte finish, I think hers is done right because it's not super drying, and it's the lipstick that I'm wearing today. I think it's just very beautiful shade. I love that orange tone. I think this was the savior of the day, and it's a shade that I can use very often. Very lovely. I love the packaging. I think it's unique, pretty to celebrate the Lunar New Year, or if you like this type of print, I think it's just very, very lovely. Continuing right here with something orangey too, let's talk about Tom Ford and his Bitter Peach collection. So here we have the palette in Belle de Pêche, and I will really ask you to check my review. I like the color story because I love peachy tones, but I think there was so much room for improvement right here. I think the formula is really pretty. It's very comparable to previous blushes from Tom Ford. And again, if you go and watch my review, you will see the comparisons with blushes of Tom Ford that they look alike to these, but they don't have the same tones. So I will have to tell you that although I really love the finished look, I think it lacks of depth. And that is my only if he had a little bit more depth, and maybe instead of using this bone color right here, if he would have brought something more alike to in this same formulation, kind of like the highlighter to give that little sheen and a little bit of like something different, it would have been better. To me, I will be using it, yes, as an eyeshadow, but also as a blush. So to me, it's kind of like, yes, it's a good product, but it's not a product that I'm like, run and go and get it. Another interesting thing right here, and a lot of people have seen this same packaging from the Bitter Peach, but with the Suspicion eyeshadow quad, which is a wet and dry formula. I have seen it available in Asia. I don't know if it will come right here or not. I think, here in United States at least, a lot of people have been asking like, stop, re-promoting and do something different. And I think that's what they are trying to do. Talking about the lipstick, this lipstick right here, I really like the shade. I'm using just a tiny bit right on the middle to give me a little bit of luminosity right there. But I don't know, I love Tom Ford formulations, and this one right here, it's just a little bit too dry or too thick, too creamy, that I see that it starts kind of like gathering between the lines of the lips. Not too much, nothing that it will look gross, but I have to tell you that if you are planning to pick up this specific lipstick, or if you already have it, to actually use a lip balm under it, have your lips very well hydrated, or top it off with a lip gloss. That's the way that I will use it, because again, I love the shade. I think the shade is stunning, but I just feel like it's just going a little bit too thick for me. I don't know, hopefully he's not changing the formula of the lipsticks, because some of my favorite lipsticks are from Tom Ford. And now let's go for the new Clé de Peau concealers. Well, should I say new? Well, new because it's a new formula. They reformulated that classic concealer in a stick, and they added a little bit more of SPF. So instead of SPF of 25, they have SPF of 27, and they also have more hydration, which I truly love. I really enjoy. Is the concealer that I'm having under my eyes today, and I really enjoy the new formulation a little bit more than the older formulation. Although I have to say, and I recall one of you, my subscribers, mentioned it, I really like how the older formulation looks on you because it looks more perfecting. Absolutely, yes, I agree with that. In camera, looks more perfected, but in real person, I really like the hydration that this new one gives me. Now, if it gathers a little bit on the fine lines, just a tiny bit, but definitely you can just go ahead and, tap it a little bit and it will just fade away. So it's nothing like it gathers a lot, it creases a ton, that it ages your under eyes. No, in fact, it actually gives them that extra hydration that is so needed. Now going into a face and eye palette from Burberry. This one is the Signature palette. Absolutely love it. I think this is another hit from Burberry. I think this is a palette that actually caters to different skin tones in different ways. If you watch my review, you will then know what I mean, because this shade right here, you can definitely use it for deeper skin tones as a highlighter, while this one right here, obviously for lighter skin tones. go and watch my review, because this palette right here, as boring as it may seem, is a gorgeous palette. The formulation is spot on. Love the highlighter right here. It's stunning. The blush is beautiful too. It has this kind of like matte finish that kind of reminds me to the Hermes blushes. Stunning product from Burberry. Now let's go to Pat McGrath really quick. She came out on December with her Bridgerton collection, and honestly, I don't know what happened, but very sadly, it passed like over 2 weeks, I think, to get shipped to all of us. And finally, I received it, and I didn't include it on my January favorites because although it's a really good palette, as a person that has a lot of Pat McGrath products, I think it's just a little bit too repetitive. I'm a little bit sick and done to see the same tone right here, the burgundy kind of tone right here. And I understand and I know why she put these two pink and red shades right here. It's actually to be more of like a face palette, not only an eyeshadow palette. And I really love the formulation of that. I feel at least with these shades right here, she could have done something different. To me, the savior of the palette and what I will have loved to buy even if she would have had singles is this shade right here. Is this astral shade that is stunning. It looks wet. It does have a little bit of like lilac, lavender, a little bit of green in it, a little bit of blue. It does have so much dimension. This is what it makes the palette what it is. And like I said it many times, I think it was a lost opportunity to have done a extraordinary, gorgeous mothership eyeshadow palette. In regards to eyeshadow palette, I will say if you like the color story, if you like that beautiful astral shade, go ahead and you will not be disappointed. The formulation is really good. And then as far as the highlighter goes, I think she did an amazing job. I honestly love this shade right here. It looks very cool tone, but it's not as cool tone as it looks like right here. It's a beautiful shade, gorgeous. It does have a little bit of a champagne undertone. It's truly stunning. I love the formulation. I love the embossing too. If I regret purchasing this one right here, I do. I honestly do. And not because the formula, is because I'm not gonna use that much this right here. I know it pains me to say it, but I have to be honest with myself. It's like what I was thinking of to pick up these. I know I was thinking in my review, I know I was thinking, okay, I can use it as an eyeshadow, but I don't need any more eyeshadows. So if you have a deeper skin tone, I will say 100% go ahead. If you like this color for a highlighter, you will not be disappointed. The formula is gorgeous. It's just me and only me because I was just thinking, let me just get the entire collection. Then I said no on the trio, and then on the highlighter I'm like, okay, I don't know, but regardless, the formulation is spot on. It's beautiful. If you're eyeing any of the two highlighters, you will be really happy about them. They don't leave any traces of glitter. They are pretty easy to blend and mesh with the skin really beautifully. Okay, I'm moving on right here to Dior. So from Dior, they launched their Spring Summer 2022 collection, which I say I don't like anything. I don't like anything of that collection except for the nail polishes. The nail polishes are like, okay, that I love to paint my nails. But the rest of the collection, I didn't like it. But at the same time, Dior started launching 2 eyeshadow palettes, 2 blushes that they were screaming, spring, make me part of the collection, please. And I don't know why they didn't do it. But anyhow, I ended up picking them up. I was so happy about it. To me, that was the unofficial Dior Spring 2022 collection. That's how I want to call it because that's what I think about them. To me, they just needed a beautiful embossing and they will have make it perfectly. The one that I love the most, Popeline. This right here is a beautiful pinky tone that is not an extreme pink tone kind of eyeshadow quad. It does have a lot of versatility. It does have a little bit of that taupey tone. It also have a little bit of that sheer kind of like ethereal kind of finish to the eyes. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. One of the best eyeshadow palettes from Dior, Popeline, and hopefully it comes back in stock. I told you guys, this is gonna be kind of like the Pink Sakura eyeshadow palette situation that It came and then it was gone. Hopefully it will be back in stock. And then along with that eyeshadow queen, they launched Organza, and this one is more of like your warmer tones, but not super warm. It gives you a very natural look. I love the shade right here. It's a beautiful golden tone. I love this peachy shade. I love these shades right here for a more of like everyday look. And it does have a little bit of that property of the organza fabric, because if you notice, this collection has, well, an official collection right here has the names of fabrics. That sheer kind of finish of, you know, the organza, that is just, again, ethereal, mesmerizing, stunning palettes from Dior. If you like something more warm, then go with organza. If you like a little bit of coolness and a little bit more pink, then definitely go with poplin. And then the blushes, dentelle. Oh, this is so soft, so feminine, and the beauty about this blush along with the other blush Rajonant is that they are a hybrid between a blush and a very subtle highlighter. This one right here is Rajonant, which is more of like a peachy tone, and this one right here is more like a pinky cool tone, but it doesn't look too cool. That, for example, for me, that I do have more of like a golden undertone to my skin that I cannot use. I can definitely use this and it looks stunning. I love the formulations. Dior has one of the best blush formulations, and these are stunning. And again, I really love that property that they can be used as a blush and also kind of like a hybrid with a highlighter that is subtle. It just gives a very youthful appearance to the skin, very bright, very spring. I think they just did wonderful. I'm like, why you didn't put a beautiful embossing, kind of like the birds of a feather embossing, but with flowers? And oh my gosh, it would have been such a success, a total success. And then because I really wanted it to review these products from Dior, I picked up, no matter what, from the official Dior's Spring 2022 collection, Mineral Peach Satin Lipstick. Gorgeous shades, a shade that, yes, I will use a ton. It's a peachy shade, satin. It does have pigmentation, but it's not too much. It's something that if you're, you know, wanting to use something peachy tone every day, absolutely 100% go with this one. And then I also pick up one of their new satin balms, and I really thought it was gonna have some sort of like undertone, a little bit of something, but it goes clear on me. And honestly, I feel like, okay, it's a clear balm, it's all good, but it's just, to me, it was a missed opportunity to have a little bit of something pink in it. I don't know. So to me, it was like, I kind of regret getting it because I don't need another lip balm on my collection, mostly if it doesn't have any tone to it. But I mean, at the long run, it's a really good lip balm. It's just it doesn't have any color, and that's what I like. When I'm like, why is pink there? You know, I need a little bit of something there. Okay, and then moving back to Chanel and their La Pausa collection, their Spring 2022 collection. And I have to say that I don't regret a bit the Mediterranean eyeshadow quad. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful. Yes, it's boring. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's nothing new. I'm using this shade right here, right on the middle. It just performs so well. It's very easy to use, an everyday palette, a palette that I don't think nobody will regret getting it. If you like the color story, if you like, again, these shades, it's a palette that you can use it every day. Absolutely stunning. I think they did amazing. They really evoke kind of that beach kind of vibe, walking by the shore with the sun, when it gets wet, when it's dry. I don't know. I think it's such a great play on this collection right here. They did an stunning job. And then as far as the blushes from this collection, I don't regret one bit. This Pêche Rosé shade is, oh my goodness, it's life to me. It's so beautiful. It has this stunning peach undertone. It does have a little bit of like a gold, not like gold sheen. There's no shimmer, there's no glitter. That it just gives, again, a youthful glow to the skin. Not as glowy as the Dior ones, not as that, but it's just so beautiful, and I really love to layer them and drape it with Brun Rosé. This one is more like an intense shade. I will highly suggest to use the right type of brush if you are of lighter complexion. This one right here is from Wayne Goss. It's a blue squirrel hair brush that it picks up the right amount of product without being too much. Such a stunning shade, and I'm just so happy that Chanel has listened to their clients. We need, anytime that they come with the limited edition items, we need something for those who have lighter complexions and those who have rich complexions, and I think they truly did an amazing job right here catering for those with deeper complexions with this beautiful shade. And like I said, using the right tool, then you can actually pick up less product, and if you have my skin tone, you can definitely use it without a doubt. Is stunning. And then I didn't showcase it on my review, but I ended up buying that liquid eyeshadow from the collection, and I think this is spot on, an amazing shade. It's a champagne shade, is nothing out of this world, but it blends super easily. It does have the right amount of shine. It doesn't have glitter in it. It's super easy to apply, and I honestly really love to apply it right in the middle center of the eyelid to just give that little bit of like glow and a little bit of like a focus kind of effect to the eye look. It's really beautiful. Super happy that I added on my collection. And with the same collection, they launched their Rouge Cocoa Balms. They are lip balms. They are not really lipsticks. They are not lip glosses. They are balms, but with a little bit of color. And I absolutely love them. These are like, you know, your everyday lip balm with a little bit of shine. They are not gonna give you the finish of a lip gloss or the finish of a lip oil. They're just going to be very hydrating, moisturizing, and I really love the shade selection. Here I have my rose. My favorite ones, and the ones that I have been using quite a bit, is one natural beige. Perhaps this is the one that I have been using the most because it's just super easy. It's a neutral nudie kind of shade. And then flirty coral, which, you know, that I love my corally tones, I love my peachy tones. This is stunning, and a stunning shade. Using it quite a bit, and I really love the amount of hydration that it gives. It's not the most hydrating lip balms, but it's enough to keep your lips nice and comfortable throughout the day. And then the last collection from Chanel is La Comer collection. So La Comer collection is a very small collection, only with 2 blushes. I will have to say this blush right here, stunning. I love that it has a little bit more of like a pinky tone, and I really love that how you can see the CC logo right there, and then the star from La Comète. I think they did an outstanding job. I really love the finish too. It's more like a soft matte finish, really beautiful. And in regards Pêche Cosmic, I think this right here, they should have promoted it kind of like a highlighter, like a very soft luminizer kind of product instead of as a blush, because honestly for a lot of people it was a true like, this is not a blush because it doesn't give you any kind of like peachy tone as you see it right here. It's beautiful, and it's the highlighter that I'm using today. So I used it underneath my blush, and then I went over a little bit on top to give me that subtle hint. Then on my review, I also use it as kind of like a finishing powder, and I think it does work, but I really don't like it too much on my forehead, which is the driest part of my face. I think I like to buff it the most here on my cheeks. This area right here, it just looks very beautiful, but I definitely think that they could have done better on this right here. Either just call it, like I said, a subtle highlighter or a luminizer, and not really calling it a blush, because this right here will not give you pretty much any color to the cheeks. And I think perhaps if I wasn't reviewing products here on YouTube and watching the reviews, I wouldn't have purchased it. That's in total honest. But if you have a different way to use it, absolutely, you have a different way to use it as a very subtle, soft highlighter underneath a matte blush to give that very nice contrast and, you know, a little bit of luminosity without having any glitter or shimmer. For the lipsticks, they did amazing. They did truly stunning. Love the 2 lipsticks that I got. These are the Rouge Allure Velvets. That they are kind of like between, I mean, they are velvet formula. They have a little bit of that matte aspect to it, but with a little bit of satin. So they kind of like meet in the middle, making the lips look very natural with a lot of pigmentation and color payoff. I love the shades that I got. Bois de Rose, which is my lips but better kind of shade, a little bit of that rosewood kind of tone, really really beautiful. And looking at up close, they do have like little specks of gold in it, but they are not glitter particles that it will make your lips look metallic. No, nothing like that. And in fact, you can even see more of that on the other shade, Terre d'Etoile. This right here is a stunning, gorgeous, beautiful, deep nude shade. It's not too brown, but it's a deeper nude shade that looks just amazing. Okay, my friends, and I think this makes it for this video. This is my roundup for the month of January. Again, I'm really hoping to keep into the habit to do roundup videos, so that way you can really know what is my final thoughts about these products right here, if they are any worth it, if I will keep using them, if I will return them, what I think about them and whatnot. Okay, my friends, hopefully again that you enjoyed this video, that you find it helpful, informative. I would love to know from you if you have tried any of these products right here, what you think about them, which ones were the star of the show for you on the month of January, and which ones you will be like, no way, I will not recommend it to anybody. Okay, let's continue the conversation on the comment section down below. And while you're at it, and if you haven't done so yet, I want to invite you to subscribe to my channel. Make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. Also share with family and friends. And until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.